The warriors.
Yes, sir.
Conquerors. Respect.
Shout out there.
Hey, look, I just left Atlanta. I said I'll be back in August. The way I go to work up in this bitch, I need an office. Pussy so good, should've put it in my coffin. If he play up that Glock like back the fuck up bombing, nigga. He heard and I can see it in his face. Time to bring that bait, my shit raw. I'ma bust their head no matter what I play. I'ma take the word, you get that bread, bitch. What I say, hold a run, going undefeated just like OJ. No, I gotta keep that little rascal in case it pump fake. Shorty called me, said she need that spanker. I said, okay, I lead by example. They are not a factor. You was not a queen, hoe, and we ain't the Black Panthers. 144 them who they send to get them answers. I'm sicker than that cancer. I'm quick to get them bands up. I don't know why they keep on playing with me. Who the one they said they give me? Miss Glizzy with me. Cook that beef so good they like who made the chili. Now they want to reconsider. Guess that I'm the one tripping. Drop the truth like Cat Williams. Come through the door like Pippin Pippin. I'm always trying to flip my penny. Busy, I'ma be a minute. Get that dough like Mr. Simpson. Listen, nigga, we back they lit. I just left Atlanta. I said I'll be back in August. The way I go to work up in this bitch, I need an office. Pussy so good, should've put it in my coffin. If he play up that Glock like back the fuck up bombing, nigga. He heard and I can see it in his face. Time to bring that bait, my shit raw. I'ma bust their head no matter what I play. I'ma take the word, you get that bread, bitch. What I say, hold a run, going undefeated just like OJ. Niggas hate, yeah, what about it? I know about it, they can't stop it, ain't worried about it. Niggas fake, they ain't solid, no, I got it, I'm hard about it. Niggas mad, they can't take it. Niggas know they can't face me. She said, who he think he is? Right now, I look like God, baby. Standing on that block, baby. Waked up on they top, baby. Screaming, fuck the free world like cheddar bar. Busy man, bitch, I'm always on my job. Drop the album, got so many hits, might get a Rigo charge. See me throw that one up in the air like I'm E.T. They know they can't beat me. I can't get this game for free. Damn right, I'm U.P.K. I'll show you how to be a G. Long way from D.C. We was down in A&T. I ain't had them triple stack pills like it's GNC. We was getting to it, but we still ain't gon' pay the fee. Who me? I was pumping gas like the BP. About to blow like TNT. Let me put my shit on D&D. Coward shit I can't be. I'm a long way from B&E. Me and bro was laying in your shit before the B&B. The Waffle House with young, I'm staking eggs with the sweet tea. Glock out on my lap, cause I ain't going out like P&B. Hey, look, I just left Atlanta. I said I'll be back in August. The way I go to work up in this bitch, I need an office. Pussy so good, should've put it in my coffin. If he play up that Glock like back the fuck up bombing, nigga. He heard and I can see it in his face. Time to bring that bait, my shit raw. I'ma bust their head no matter what I play. I'ma take the word, you get that bread, bitch. What I say, hold a run, going undefeated just like OJ.
Everybody clap it up. We are the I.S.U.P.K. under yo, that's Tawab. That's a good clap. We the I.S.U.P.K. started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And we teach the truth to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And that truth is that we are the lost 12 tribes of Israel. Since 1969, the I.S.U.P.K. has been waking up, has been civilizing the lost slaves, the lost sheep of the house of Israel that Christ came to redeem. And one of the major tools that we use in the I.S.U.P.K. is brotherhood. Brotherhood, when I say brotherhood, it goes in symbionts with sisterhood as well. I.S.U.P.K., the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, one day at a time raises a brother and a sister up in this truth. And through brotherhood, meaning the way that we show that we love and are obedient to the Most High in Christ is how we treat one another. And how we treat one another is based on principles. You know what I mean? Some people call it the golden rule, do unto others as thou will have done unto yourself. But for the most part, we battle demons such as selfishness. You know what I'm saying? Like covetousness and things that make us envy or be jealous over one another. In the I.S.U.P.K, and I'm just laying it all out for you right now before I go into it. We prefer one another. You understand? We prefer one another, the brothers and sisters. We would rather give the shirt off our back so our brother can have a shirt. You understand? We'd rather be the father and the mother to the fatherless and the motherless. You know what I'm saying? That's in a nutshell what the I.S.U.P.K is about and what we are here to do. We are ministered to do. We go out in the street corners every Sabbath, Friday night. Sometimes you'll see it Saturday. Some camps out in Texas, you'll see it's Monday, Tuesday, any day of the week. But any opportunity we have to speak and raise up the dead and wake up the valley of the dry bones, we will do that. And the first component is our identity, knowing that this book, this Bible, that is comprised of books of the prophet from the Old Testament to the Apocrypha to the New, from 1611, that we use this book to teach our people who we are, that this book is for the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Some people say Latinos because of Brazil as well, so Salakia for that. But at the same time, we just had, hey, Salakia, hey, Champ, quiet up for a minute. Salakia, I got my son here. So with that, I also want to give a shout out to Atlanta for hosting the Lord's 56th annual Passover. We all have made our pilgrim. We are returning from our pilgrimage to Atlanta, where we had a divine Tawab time out there, getting to celebrate our exodus out of Egypt, out of our oppressors' hands through the faith of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? By us having faith in the Most High, Most High showed us what he would do for us as his children, as his favorite children, as his chosen ones. You understand? This is a valuable lesson that we need to adhere to. We don't celebrate Easter. We don't celebrate the pagan god of Ishtar or Happy or Hathor or Het-Heru or any of the Greek gods or Kemetic gods or Roman gods or any of these pagan holidays or any of these pagan gods or Islam. Hey, Champ, if you don't mind, could you stop moving, please? Salakia, Baba Kashat. We don't celebrate those things. We celebrate the high holy days of our Father, Yahweh. You understand? In the Hebrew, the Most High. And so with that, we went to Atlanta. We had a Tawab time. The sisters were looking Tawab. I saw the brothers, just it was like like a family reunion on 10. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a major event. We saw the class of 2025. Let's give it up for the class of 2025 Hebrew Academy graduates. They went through hell. Some of them faced death. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that were deserving, they made it out unscathed. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna say unscathed, so because we had broken everything, right and left. You know what I'm saying? But it was well deserved, and they'll never forget it. But we definitely want to, on behalf of Commander Junior Hahn and the generals, we definitely want to, give a salute to all those graduates in out of the 2025 class in Hebrew Academy, which was the graduation and the trials was in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Atlanta school. Check them out if you're ever in Atlanta. We are now ending. I think last night we just ended the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is a component to the Passover, in which we didn't eat any yeast products or anything with baking soda or anything that had a leavening property to it that would make bread rise, or even, let's say, even your fried chicken, anything that uses to puff something up. You know what I mean? Spiritually, we were supposed to learn to not be so prideful and puffed up in our own righteousness. You know what I'm saying? But practically, you know, it was because in Egypt, we didn't have enough time to let that bread rise. So we had to eat in haste. You understand? We ate the lamb and we ate that unleavened bread with the bitter herb, and we had to get up out of there because Pharaoh was coming for us. He was vexed. You understand? But we commemorate that with the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which the closing of that was yesterday. Shout out to Officer Mahayar for putting on a Tawab closing with Officer Yanazar, Officer Tabawan. It was Tawab. The sisters had a great time. We had good food. We had lots of bread, lots of cakes, lots of pies, lots of cookies, lots of things we weren't able to eat during that fasting period off of the yeast products and things like that. So topic today is we just gonna go over the milk right now, and because it's needed, you know, we could get sophisticated and deep into the mysteries of life, but just keeping your ear to the street, you'll hear that Israel needs the milk. Israel needs the milk, and we what we need is to understand the foundation and the construct of how we're supposed to create and rise as a nation of people, how our society is supposed to run and operate. You understand? Hey, champ, quiet down with that chair if you don't mind. I'm gonna have to do that probably about 17 more times to lock everybody. Fatherhood, but that's also brotherhood too. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I just want to say brotherhood. When we say brotherhood, right, we're talking about how Israel interacts and handles, let's say, arts or strife or conflict. Brotherhood is rarely about the good times for the most part, because everything is good, but to ensure that we keep that symbiont, so that flow of righteousness within, when you have large groups, or when you have interaction with your people. You know what I'm saying? The Most High gave us a system. He gave us a set of rules in place to avoid Satan's way of using demons to prey on our brother or to deceive our brother, to get over on our brother. And when I say brother again, I'm saying sisters as well. So there are things in place. You know what I'm saying? There's scriptures that were written aforetime, which are for our learning, right? And we can go into these scriptures for complaints and issues as of today. Whatever we're going through today, there's a scripture for it. There's multiple scriptures for it, multiple precepts that can address those issues. Okay, all we need is your time. All we need is your adherence, and we can cover these things, and you will start to see a change. You'll start to see a civilized nation of people. You understand? Not a people that are emulating the oppressor and the people in the world. You understand? All of us were sold short through slavery and just being born in this wicked world, and most of us are going to have to unlearn a lot of the filth and stench of this wicked world that our parents taught us, that our school system taught us, that the government taught us, that religions taught us. You understand? That our peers taught us. And it's a task, but through faith in the Most High. You know what I'm saying? When you actually give yourself to Christ, when you give yourself and your soul and your being to this truth and the school that brought it to you, and the school that that the Most High allowed this truth to come into fruition. When you give that your all, then you'll be willing to do the impossible, which is to come up out of this world, to give up cigarettes, to give up the desire to, get tattoo your body all up and you know what I mean, mangle and manipulate your skin and torture your body. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating these holidays that are worshiping and giving honor to false idols and the enemies of the Most High, or not, I wouldn't say the enemies, but Salaki for that, but to those that disrespect the Most High, because there is only one supreme being. There's only one God. You know what I'm saying? It's not Allah, and it's not a rock, and it's not Buddha, and it's not I'm spiritual, and it's not the Zodiac. You understand? It's not God knows my heart. It's the Most High of the Bible, the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the progenitors of the 12 tribes of Israel, who are lost to this day. You understand? When you're willing to give yourself, your adherence and allegiance and obedience and loyalty, and your loyalty, again, and your loyalty to this truth, then you'll be willing to fall in line and do what these scriptures say. We're gonna go to the first scripture. I don't have a read at the moment, but let's go to if everyone has their Bible or their app, go to Psalms 133. Let's get that. In Psalms 133. Hey, is that somebody at the door? Okay. I hear somebody at the door. I ain't got nobody. But we're going to go to Psalms 133. And it says, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. I'm going to read that one more time. This is Psalms 133. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Now, what does that mean? How do we break that down? We have individuals that they keep the law, as they say, right? They may not eat, pig feet. They may not eat crawfish and shrimp and things like that. They may actually be a so-called worldly good person. They may not steal from, anyone. They may not lie. They may not, you know what I'm saying? They may just be a worldly good person. And they may consider themselves an Israelite. They may celebrate the Passover at home with their family alone, right? They go to their slavery alone. They come home alone. There is no pressure. There is no proof that what you believe in is actually tried and tested until you have a lot of people, a lot of brothers and sisters together who have to be around each other. Now someone's going to accidentally bump into someone. Now someone is going to accidentally step on someone's foot. Someone may pick up a jacket. They thought it was theirs. It may be yours. Now you have an ought. You understand? With a brother or sister. Now we can apply the scriptures. Now we can apply go to him and thee alone. You know what I'm saying? Now we have a society. But when you are an individualite, you're not tested. So how do we know? How do we really know that you are who you say you are? That's why, when you're an individualite and just keeping the law in your own personal setup, it's a false positive. It's again, we can't trust that. You know what I'm saying? In the nation of Israel, we were commanded to be together. The Passover was supposed to be a pilgrimage of us coming together. You understand? It says in Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation, not desired. It didn't say separate from one another, Israel. It says separate from our oppressor and separate from this world spiritually. but not to separate from our brothers. We should prefer one another. We should want to dwell together. Okay? It says it's good. It says it's pleasant. Hey, champ, can you stop playing, son? Salakia. It says it's pleasant. It's a good thing in the eyes of the Most High for us to dwell together. Now, what happens when you have an issue? What happens when you have an ought or trespass, or you feel like they don't like me, you know, or they feel like, you know, you offended me, or you know, what, for whatever reason. The first thing we don't do is we don't go to Facebook. We don't go to social media, right? We don't go to anybody else. We go to that person. You know what I'm saying? We go to that person, them alone, in private. We express our ought to them, and we give that brother or sister an opportunity to hear you, right? We give them opportunity to say, you know what? I thought that was my coat, Salakia, my bad. You know what I'm saying? How can I fix it for you? And by that person hearing you, you possibly have gained a brother. You know how in back in the day, like a lot of friends used to so-called fight one another. You know, after you have some type of issue, some of you become good friends. You understand? And I'm not saying that's what we should do. But what I'm saying is sometimes when you have issues and you see that this person is solid, he didn't mean, I thought he took my phone. You know what I'm saying? I was about to tighten him up. But I didn't do that. I utilized what the scriptures stated, and I didn't come up to him puffed up, because it doesn't state go to him with the assumption that this was intentional. In the UPK, we're taught to give the benefit of the doubt. And that's something that is very seldom done in the world. In the world, you know, if there's some type of issue, it's assumed. We always assume they got me effed up. They're trying to play me. They did that on purpose, right? And so when we do approach them, we approach them with that spirit. Hey, champ, quiet up. Quiet up, champ. Shouldn't have ate that cake, man. Salaki. When we go to them with that type of spirit, it causes a defense, an aggressive defense. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong, right? I could have your jacket. I could have picked up your phone. But if you come to me, you know what I mean, trying to get wicked with it, I'm not even hearing you. I'm just looking at what this possible threat could be. And so now I'm coming back at you. You know what I'm saying? And it's a domino effect. And this is why the Most High is the most wise and has the most infinite wisdom of how to run a nation of people. You understand? That's why we have to stay diligent in the scriptures. We have to stay diligent in our counsels. We have to stay diligent with one another, because the more you're around people in the truth, the more it becomes addictive, the more it becomes norm. You understand? Commonplace. When you have your children around people in the truth, it becomes norm. It starts to thwart the effect of people in the world. People in the world is easy. Is everywhere. It's every day. Everywhere you go, you see Esau's kingdom. Whether it's in your own people who don't know who they are, you understand? Trying to push agendas that are in the music industry, you know, in the movies, and keep it going. You know what I'm saying? If it's the Easter Bunny, if it's Memorial Day, if it's Christmas, if it's whatever it is, it's autopilot in the world. It's easy to be in the world. You know what I'm saying? You just go outside your door and you can get consumed with the ways of this kingdom. But in the truth, we have to fight, and we have to prefer one another. We have to fight to be together. There's so many excuses for us not to go to the Passover. We all have, we call it the Passover demon. There's so many excuses for us not to come to class. It's called I'm tired. It's called I've only had 4 hours of sleep. You know what I'm saying? It could be called my wife wants me to do this. You know, she doesn't want me. You know, she's like, why do you have to go to the school all the time? Or why do you have to go to camp all the time? We have to literally fight demons within ourselves in order to be together in the nation of Israel, in the I.S.U.P.K. When I'm speaking about the truth, I'm speaking about the I.S.U.P.K. Yeah, many of us are in groups and may have found out we're in the truth or found out that we're Israel from other groups. And all I can say to that is do your research, you know, study a little more. The same way you were deceived in the Christian church, you're also being deceived as a fake Israelite. You know what I'm saying? I.S.U.P.K. is the home of the truth. I.S.U.P.K. is it. Yes, we're not glamorous. We may not have the best videos, and, you know, we may not have 2 million guys in the same color wardrobes or whatever, but just one thing that we have overall is we do have brotherhood. We have Commandant General YAHANNA. He's the exemplary example of brotherhood and loyalty, as I stated earlier. You understand? And if you study the story, and get it from an unbiased source, do your research. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of people who think just because they got a gray beard that they was in One West, that they know the story. You understand? Don't be fooled. Okay? Because there's never supposed to be so-called Israelite groups. There's only supposed to be one body of Christ. Only one. The moment you have two, then why do you have two? What's the difference between this group and this group? And if there's a difference, which one is actually in accordance with the Bible? You understand? So now you're causing division. And so out of this group, you have 8 groups that come from this group. Out of the UPK, you still got the UPK. We still here solid. You understand? But all these other groups, you know, they're deceiving our people. Now, mind you, the people that are in these groups, I.S.U.P.K. in its totality, we have no personal oughts with any of you. We know you're misinformed. You have been deceived. And we have love for you, and we yearn that you wake up and come into the truth, which is the I.S.U.P.K. I know we look like the underdogs, and that's Tawab. You know, Christ and his men were the underdogs in the eyes of the Sadducees and the Pharisees. But we're going to see how that play out. You know what I mean? At the same time, Commandant General YAHANNA is too much information or evidence to say that, you know, this is the home of the truth. Commandant General YAHANNA never dropped his sword. Commandant General YAHANNA never gave himself rank. Commandant General YAHANNA never turned his back on the teaching that he was taught. You know what I mean? From the 7 heads. You know what I mean? The original 3, Iqwal, Ariyah, Masha. He never turned his back. What we do in I.S.U.P.K. today is what we did then. You know what I mean? What we did then is what we do today. You know what I mean? And the groups that you see out today are the groups where their leaders did not apply go to him and thee alone. They didn't apply it enough. You know what I mean? They didn't forgive their brother 70 times 7. They didn't do that. At some point they were like, nah, I gotta leave. And you know, to come into the I.S.U.P.K. and to get your Hebrew name and become an officer, such as Nate and Rakar and Tahar and all of these men who spawn other groups, which has led to this begrudging work that we must do to try to wake people up and shake. We shaking people out of Christianity, and then we got to shake them up out of being a fake Israelite group. But all of those brothers took this oil, right, and made an oath unto the Most High. We all took that oath. And in order to actually leave the I.S.U.P.K., you know what you must do? You must break that oath. You must break that oath. And that's what they did. They broke that oath, and they did not love the school enough. I'm teaching class, son. Relax. Go that way. Relax. Salaki, everybody. Salaki. One day, Hopefully, Lord willing, you'll have this issue soon when you start teaching class. But I wouldn't trade him for the world. But Salakia for that. They didn't love Commanding General Yohanna and the members of the UPK at that time enough to not leave. They didn't, and so when a man says, "Oh, you know," I think I saw Nate say he left the I.S.U.P.K because he saw much polygamy, as he stated. He saw backbiting, right? And no one ever said those things can't happen. He's not saying polygyny is a bad thing, but let's say it was a lot of things going on. Let's say things are going on today. Hey, champ, quiet those cars down. It's making too much noise. Let's say those things are happening today. We have a system in place, right? Starting with the Bible. And then we have protocols, right? That's digestible so we can fix issues, right? But you first must love and prefer one another first. But see, brothers leave the truth because they never bought into it. They didn't love us from the jump. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say if they come out from amongst us, they was never with us. You understand? You can't have it both ways. You were never in the truth if you leave. And men leave because they want to go back into the world or they want to be the leader of their own group. Hey, champ, stop the bangling. Go over there. Go all the way over there. Go that way, all the way. Go that way and put that stuff down, son. Salakia. They leave the truth either because they want to get high. They leave the truth because, you know, they weren't fit for this challenge. You have to understand, we give up every Saturday. When you're in the world, you don't think of Saturday. It's just another day. It's a weekend. But when you're actually in the truth, you start to realize, like, this is the one day that families really go out or travel and spend time. And we give it up for Christ. We give it up for you. We give it up so we can teach you, hey, you're not a Negro. You're not an Afro-American. You're not an African-American. You know what I'm saying? You're not colored. Hey, champ, you're too loud. You're not colored. You know what I'm saying? You're not what they told you were. You came from the continent of Africa, but there was a story before that. You actually traveled to Africa from Egypt even though Egypt's in Africa, but then you came from Israel. You fled Israel into Egypt and then migrated into western part of Africa. And the northern kingdom migrated into the southern part of Africa and then took ships across into Central and South America, right? So we do this. We sacrifice our Saturdays. We sacrifice our time to teach you, right? Brothers leave the truth also because they want to be the leader. So they moved to Oakland and they start a group wearing all red. They moved to Texas. They start a group and they wear all blue. You know what I'm saying? They move far away from, the people who know who they really are. And they bring this knowledge to a community that's never heard it before. And then they get the esteem and the honor in their eyes, of being a bishop, an elder, whatever title they give them. But they gave themselves those titles. And all of them learn who they were from the I.S.U.P.K. 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we're under Commanding General YAHANNA. And we are taught that brotherhood is a weapon. And in the case of the Individualite, when I was trying to, when I was on my journey, trying to figure out who I was as far as an Israelite and who to learn from, everyone said, I don't do camps. I don't do camps. You can go here, you can go there, but just don't go to the I.S.U.P.K. And you know what that does? That makes me go to I'm like, well, what's wrong with the I.S.U.P.K? I look at the I.S.U.P.K. and it was rough. It was uncut, raw. You know what I'm saying? It was the truth. It was everything that you feared as a so-called American or a good old boy. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you're embarrassing us. You're yelling. You have a beard and you look rough and menacing. They're gonna kill us because of you. You understand? That's what the families say when they finally find out you're in the I.S.U.P.K. Oh, you're in a terrorist group. You're in a hate group. The government is watching you. And I look at the other groups, you know, you look at the IUIC, like no one's, you know, they're non-threatening. There's no difference. When you look at someone in the IUIC, they could take off their robe and put on a suit and tie or collar shirt. There's no difference. There's no change. They don't wear mitris. They don't wear the shield of David. You understand? They don't say they don't speak Hebrew. You know, they make it very easy and appealing to people in the world who's looking for a change. They may be fed up with Christianity, but it's very, I mean, really, they should be commended on a marketing strategy that has worked. Now they after Hamites, you know, and if your objective and mission is to make a lot of money, you know what I'm saying, and have all this wealth and have all these numbers, follow the blueprint of the IUIC. They doing very well. You know, when you get the Hamites in, let alone, let's backtrack, telling women that sex is not marriage, that it's paperwork, and that you can only have one, the floodgates are open. You know, many sisters were you know, learning that they were an Israelite, but they could not deal with that, you know, and we know that. You know what I'm saying? I.S.U.P.K knows that. If Commander Junior Yohanna wanted to expand the numbers and get more wealth for the I.S.U.P.K, we could change the doctrine too, but we don't do that because Commander Junior Yohanna, he stands on loyalty. You understand? He stands on loyalty. But we're going to go into, I don't have a reader, Salaki, so that's why it's not flowing as a normal class. But let's go to Proverbs 17. I want to get that if everybody could. I'm not trying to hold you too long, but let's go to Proverbs 17. I should get Champ to read, but he's not there yet. So Proverbs 17 says, wait a minute. Let me see if I got this right. Proverbs 17 with adversity. I think he said bobbity bobbity. Did I say 17? Get it. All right. So Proverbs 17. Hey, Champ, go that. Come here. Just so y'all know, it's him. It's the brother right here. One day you're going to see him, hopefully, as a priest and prophet. But you got to get down. Go that way, son. Salakia. Proverbs 17. It says, a friend loveth at all times. And I.S.U.P.K, we are friends. You know what I'm saying? Our brotherhood it transcends friendship, but we are friends. You know what I'm saying? We're kind and courteous to one another. You know, Commander Junior Yohanna, General Mahayim, and generals teach us to be kind, gentle, courteous, respectful, and professional to all nations, to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Contrary to what you believe, that we go out, oh, that's a white person. Let's bust their car. Look at that little white child. Let's piss on them. We not taught to do that. You know what I'm saying? We're not savage. Esau teaches us to do that. You know what I'm saying? There's more crime done by worldly people and drug dealers and gang members and churchgoers than anyone at ISUPK. You can hate us all you want, but you don't have no evidence or record or a long line of crimes committed to our people, let alone heathens. You are safe when the ISUPK is in your dwelling or in your area. You should get rid of the credit scores and employment checks and education backgrounds. When you looking for people to stay in your properties, you should just say, you in the ISUPK, you come on in. Just like how you do all those people from India and China. You bypass a lot of the credit checks and things like that and just let them move into your neighborhood. That's what you should do when you see the ISUPK. When you see my children in your schools, ISUPK, we top in the class. We got 4.0s. You understand? Lowest we may have is 3.7s and 3.8s or whatever. But General Muhammad and Commander Junior Yohanna emphasize that our children should be exceptional in school and exceptional citizens. This is what we teach. Quiet as kept. This is what we teach. You know what I'm saying? What you see on the corner, that's a commandment by the Lord. That's what we doing. We trying to rattle you up and wake you up to teach you something. Because if we was out there like Jehovah's Witnesses or out there like some mime, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't pay attention to us. The only reason why we even get in the attention is because you don't like what we say. You don't like what we say because you heard it. You heard it because we was crying aloud and we spared not. You know what I'm saying? And we showed our people their transgressions. That's what we doing. Right? You don't have to like, and we know you don't like us, but we ain't gonna stop us from loving you. You know what I'm saying? We are commanded and commissioned to love you. We love you. Even those that's dropping their swords, you know what I'm saying? Even those that's going back into the world, we love you. We want you to come home. You know what I'm saying? We want you to come back to the home of the truth. That's what we want, right? But our children are exceptional. They're commanded to be that way by the protocols in the school. You don't see us in the news selling fentanyl. You don't see us selling crack. You don't see us shooting up cribs and doing any of that. That's not what we teach. That's not what we do. That's not what we do. All you can say is you don't like what we say. You don't like how we look. You know what I'm saying? But then you won't turn that same scrutinizing eye on what's right outside the door. You know what I'm saying? Right, what's right outside the door is death and destruction and the demise of our people, starting with the consciousness of our people and this damn Christianity that teaches us that God loves everybody. And so because God loves everybody and this is just a training ground on the earth, it doesn't matter what we do. Because in our last breath, all we got to do is say, Jesus Christ is my personal Lord and Savior. Right? That's what we feel we have to do. That's what the Catholic priests teach, that you can just say, forgive me, Father, if I have sinned, and then go do it again. Nah, that's not what we do. You know what I'm saying? We show our love for the Most High with our brotherhood, our sisterhood, fatherhood, our motherhood, how we treat one another, what we do. You can say whatever you want about us, but you cannot say you see us sinning willfully. We are not doing that. We don't tolerate that here. Understand? In the world we do. So let's read on. And a brother is born for adversity. What does that mean? A brother is born for adversity. That means when you're going through something tough, when your brother is going through something that is undesired, that is so heavy, like a mountain on the shoulder of a man, like Atlas, you don't run. You don't say, nah, I got, you know what I'm saying? I can't help you with that, bro. That's in the world. In the truth and following Christ and the example of Christ, forever shall we be a brother and a friend and a sister. You understand? This is what we have to internalize, and we have to practice it Practice it. You can't practice it if you don't come to class. You can't practice if you don't come to the feast days. You can't practice it if you don't come to the cookouts. You can't practice it if you're always finding an excuse or listening to every demon that tells you this is more important. This is more important until you evicted or you need $800 for rent. And then, Captain, I'm about to be evicted. All of a sudden, now the truth matters. Now, all of a sudden, you know who to go to, right? You know who to go to because, our love suffered long in the I.S.U.P.K. We suffered long, just like in our marriages, which is another element for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans because we worship the white man and his ideology. We worship this world, this wicked world. How do you not see that it's wicked? Just go back to when you were young and then look at where we're going. You know what I'm saying? Look at the children now versus how they were when you were young. You don't see something has to be done? You don't see it? How do you hate the I.S.U.P.K? I don't even get it. What do we do? What do we do? We tell you not to eat pork and you're mad about that. We tell you not to celebrate Christmas, you mad about that. We tell you we can't sleep with prostitutes and sleep with a woman and leave her, but you mad about that because you selfish as hell and you really work for Satan. You understand? You really an agent. That's what you really are. You know what I'm saying? We about to figure this out though real soon. We about to figure out who's right and who's wrong. That's all you care about, right? You know what I mean? Right and wrong. Right and wrong has nothing to do with the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? If I tell my son to do something, I might be wrong in what I told him, but he damn better do it. You understand? Him doing what I say is more important than me telling him something wrong because that's the position I was given. And if a man above me is not so-called right about something, best believe I'm going to act accordingly. I'm going to obey and follow the order, and according to the protocols we have, we deal with it. There's nothing more merciful than when a father finds out, damn, my wife was right. Hey, baby, you was right, man. I'm sorry. I thought about it. Yeah, we should have. Yellow and blue does make green. I thought it made orange. Salakia. But she didn't give him a lot of lip when he was wrong. You know what I'm saying? She didn't belittle him and embarrass him in front of everybody when he was clearly wrong. She shut her mouth and she got behind her man, her husband, and he figured it out. Or she whispered to him later in private, hey, babe, you said yellow and blue make orange. I said that. Damn, babe. You know what I'm saying? Give that brother a chance to correct himself and see. And there's, like I said, there's nothing greater for him to come and say, you know what? Salakia, I apologize. A real man will do that. But you got to allow him to be a real man. You can't destroy him and take away his legs from under him. Just because you know so much. You got these degrees, right? You got all this worldly knowledge and you thinking you above him. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Right and wrong is going to get you killed. Trust me. You better obey the man that the Lord put before you. You better understand that. Hey, go that way, son. You better understand that. You know what I'm saying? If Eve didn't listen to that man in the garden telling her all this right shit, right stuff, Salakia, and if she would have just obeyed, right? She would be in a better position, right? All of us would have, right? Right? But what did she do? She got logical with it. She's listening to a man say something that she didn't hear before. And she's like, word? Like, You know what I'm saying? Now the Lord already told Eve what was up. And all she had to do was obey. But sometimes you want to be so puffed up in your intellectualism, which is foolish to the Most High. All this worldly knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Ain't about nothing. All it's about is pulling people one by one from serving the Most High and pulling them back into the world so they won't be the only ones miserable living this worldly hell. You understand? This is crazy. That was Proverbs 17. We gonna go into and the water for everyone that's bearing with me. The water for let me look on the chat. I ain't even had Salaki, I ain't had no time to look at this chat, but I'm definitely gonna read everything. And if there's any questions that I'm not getting to, we'll definitely get to it tomorrow. We'll have a full house. I want to give a shout out to our brothers from the Durham school and the Goldsboro school, headed by Captain Zakar and Officer I.S.U.P.K. They are in one of the prisons in North Carolina right now, and they're setting up. They're teaching classes out there to a lot of the inmates who identify as Israel. You understand? But they never had a direction. You know what I'm saying? They just have the Bible. And so my men have traveled about 2 hours to go help these brothers, and we're going to be doing that every other week or so. So I just want to give a shout out to my men that made that trip, and definitely everybody will be back, full force tomorrow. Okay, so we're gonna go to Hebrews 13, chapter 13, verse 1. And I think we sent about 5 or 6 brothers out there. Yeah. Also, shout out to Officer Thabawan. He's in a situation right now, but he actually is remotely helping with the technical aspect of what's going on, because I am not that technical savvy or tech savvy. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 1. It states, let brotherly love continue. Again, it says, let brotherly love continue. What is love? According to the scriptures, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? So if you've ever been to an I.S.U.P.K event, the same spirit that you would have if you was in the world, you don't have. I've had people from the world who's deep into that worldly life, and they come to an I.S.U.P.K event and they don't know how to act. You know what I'm saying? They like, where's my purse? Hold up. Where's this? Where's that? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, it's here. It's with us. We good. Where's Johnny? Or where's my daughter? Or whatever. Oh, she's with us. He's with us. We're good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a comfort that I've been, I guess, getting spoiled from, because when I go into the world, sometimes we go to worldly parties or something like that, and everything we do is to fish, right? But when I go into the world, back into the world, I'm so depressed, because now I'm on guard. Now everybody is a potential op. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a potential threat. You know what I'm saying? This sister right here got a razor. You know what I'm saying? This man right here got the joint in the bathroom, and there's all kind of things. I'm constantly just thinking like, this can happen. This can happen. I don't think like that in the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I'm saying? There's a freedom. There's a sovereignty that comes from the structure in the I.S.U.P.K. Once everything is in order, once everything is in place, the shamar, the offices and the responsibilities, people with operational command over certain situations, once that's in place and we have that respect, now there's a sovereignty, there's a freedom, there's fun that we can have. You know what I'm saying? Even Commander General YAHANNA would dance for the nation. You know what I'm saying? Because things are in order now. You know what I'm saying? There's a time when the generals can be loose a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But the way the world paints us is as uptight brutes, uptight ogres. You know what I mean? And anybody that's in the truth know that's the furthest thing from the truth. It's the furthest thing from the truth. We have great fathers in this school. have great uncles and brothers and sisters and aunts and mother figures, you know what I mean, in this school. I met some of the best people in my life in this school. All the life living I've been doing up till I come to the I.S.U.P.K. The best men that I've ever met in my life are in this school. In this school. And I say that I don't say that lightly, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm definitely not a man pleaser. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't worship men. I don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? But these brothers that I met in this school, raised up by Commander Junior YAHANNA, are worthy of praise. Some of these sisters are worthy of praise. That sisters come from the mud and grow and fought. You know what I mean? I've seen sisters go to council, put on punishment, fought, and then finally got it. Come brand new. Finally got it. Finally shed that worldly stench. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody says in the I.S.U.P.K. we walk on water, that we not gonna have issues. You know what I'm saying? Some people on the sideline, oh look, see, y'all got an issue. Look, see, look what he said about him. Okay, who? That's Christianity. Christianity promised you this perfect. You know, everything is just you're walking on clouds, right? And nothing ever happened. No, we're practical. You know what I'm saying? We know we the sons and daughters of slaves, and we were taught by the sons and daughters of the slave master. And he taught us how to be niggas and spicks and wetbacks, right? He taught us how to be Crips and Bloods, right? He taught us how to be East Side versus West Side. He taught us how to be male versus female, light skin versus dark skin, young versus old. He taught us to hate ourselves. He taught us to be distracted from loving the Most High, from being an Israelite, one of the 12 tribes of Israel. You got to understand what we trying to do here. We trying to bust up this love affair you have with Africa, that you have with China, that you have with America, that you have with the white man and their Christianity. We trying to bust it up. So when we on the corners, we ain't out there playing, because it could be our last day, and we know that. We sacrifice our Saturdays to go out and stand in the heat, and to stand in the rain, and stand in the cold for you, for the very ones that talk about us in private, that talk about us as if we some Power Rangers. Yeah, we Power Rangers because the Most High is the power. That's his name in English. You understand? In the Hebrew, it's Yahweh. But at the same time, you don't know that. You trying to disrespect us. We wearing the garments that's in the Bible, that your grandmother got on a mantle. We eat the foods that the Bible tells us to eat. You understand? We have relationships according to how this Bible says. But yet, you hate us. You have a problem with us. You know what you don't have? Hey, champ, quiet down. You know what you don't have for us? You don't have brotherhood for us. You don't love the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I'm saying? You don't love you love the Bloods. You love the Crips more than you love the I.S.U.P.K. But guess who loves you and the Bloods and the Crips? The I.S.U.P.K. And you know how we love you? By keep doing what we doing. We're going to keep coming to these classes. We're going to keep going to them street corners. We're going to keep going to them city hall councils. We still going to have them food and clothing drives. We still going to hit every prison that we can. You understand? And until we wake up our people, until Christ return and tell us to stand down. And in that day, you think we're going to be happy? Huh? You think we look forward to seeing our family perish in the lake of fire? Huh? In that day, you think we playing? You think we want to see you perish? You think we want to see the eyes disintegrate, right? The tongue melt in your mouth? You think we want to see that while we on the chariots? We telling you now. But you don't want to believe us. You want to listen to Sexy Red. You don't want to believe us, right? You want to listen to Farrakhan, huh? Huh? You want to listen to Gangrene Geno Jennings, huh? You want to listen to Nasty Nate, huh? Huh? You want to listen to everybody. Hey, champ, quiet up. You want to listen to everybody that is against the I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. I've done it all. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't no world-renowned trying to be in every group. I wasn't no groupie. You know what I'm saying? I just grew up. Where I grew up, everybody was a 5%er. Everybody was in the Zulu Nation. That's just how it was. You know what I'm saying? And from that, coming down south, you got the Nation of Islam. But at that time, it didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was true or not. I just saw black people trying to do something, right? So we supported Marcus Garvey. We supported Pan-Africanism. We supported Anthony T. Browder, Oba T. Shaka. We supported Ivan Van Sertima, John Henry Clark. You know what I'm saying? Ray Carruthers. All of these so-called black conscious, Bobby Hemmett. I was just talking to Thaba one about Bobby Hemmett and the occult. You know what I'm saying? I studied all of that. A Sauset Society, Raul Nefa Men, all of that. The Zodiac, I could read the Zodiac right and left. I know all of that. And it's garbage. It's garbage. I never thought I would come into the knowledge of the Most High in this Bible, because everybody that had the Bible was a hypocrite to me. Everybody that had the Bible didn't know the Bible, never read it. And then I find these men on the corner that's speaking hot wisdom, hot fire out this Bible, stirring people up. And they some of the greatest men on this fucking planet. Some of the greatest men that I ever met in my life. Your opinion don't even matter to me. You understand? Because you don't take the time to get to know us. You don't take the time to come up in here and join and find out what it's all about. We love each other up in this mother. You understand? We do. We do. And we always will till Christ's return. You understand? Brotherhood shall not be taken lightly. You understand? If you had brotherhood for me, then you will be up in here. Or you at least be challenging to try to teach us how this ain't the way. But you don't love us enough, or you too made or cowardly to even do anything about it. But anyway, I'm out of here. This is Officer I Rock, Officer 5000 I Rock. And we belong.